And we're back. I'm Griselda, and this is Real Estate Profits on Now Media Television. Let's keep building smarter together. And we're back with Real Estate Profits. I'm Griselda, your host, and this is Now Media Television. And today we're going to be talking about interesting topic on business brokerage from the man, president and senior broker at Property Wise Geist, who has done many of these deals before, Dr. Denis Burke. Hello, Dr. Burke.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm wonderful, thank you. And how are you in sunny Sarasota, Florida?
Absolutely amazing here. Yeah.
Wonderful. Absolutely. I'm in Florida myself, as you know, in Melbourne. So it's a very great weather that we have out here. So now the next topic is really talking about your real estate portfolio and having a sustainable real estate portfolio. So many people try to build their portfolio and one that really provides consistent income. However, it's really a gamble. They really don't know what to choose, what to put in their portfolio, or how to maximize their returns. So that's the topic that I really want to talk about in terms of how do we maximize our real estate portfolio and get the best out of our investment. So Dr. Burke, what strategies do you recommend for building a real estate portfolio that gives steady returns?
You understand how real estate is categorized into two primary areas, residential and commercial. And
Correct.
In residential, we have come up with new ways to make money in the last 10 or 15 years. Vacation rental especially is fairly new with Airbnb, VRBO. There are other methods that people buy real estate and then they lease it out on the short term.
Right.
Then the other factor is the commercial real estate side of it. And commercial real estate mainly consists of office, retail, warehouse, and other categories. And so what I know is that if you can get into corporate leases with commercial, that's by far the most stable way to have an income stream. Reason being is that if you sign a 5-year lease, triple net, which is a term used in the industry for passing on the expenses to the tenant.
Yes.
You can then you have stability also with the tenant because it's oftentimes a corporation. Maybe it's a law firm. Maybe it's a medical practice, but it's more stable than people who are in multifamily residential homes or residential apartments, because life takes its toll sometimes and there's a lot of volatility on the residential side. People lose their jobs, things go wrong in life, bills mount up and they don't always or cannot always pay their rent. And so we've seen this in times like during COVID and 9/11 and other times in our economic cycles. And so for that reason, people argue that residential is a great place to be. We've been there for 15 years, but we found that it's very volatile, way more volatile than other aspects of real estate. And this is why today we're strictly in commercial real estate.
Oh, so you're strictly in commercial, but yes, absolutely. So it's important to distinguish between the two. And you're right? We have commercial real estate properties ourselves, and sometimes those are 5, even 10 years. But you also allow for increase in the amount of rent, right? There's inflation, there's other factors. So you want to be locked in for a full 5 or 10 years. So you have some of those, the leeway to be able to adjust the contract based on what the market is doing. But commercial and residential. And so now you've primarily focused on the commercial side, you said then. That's
correct. And we've developed some niches in niche areas. Like for instance, I learned about a unique model called assemblage.
Yes.
There's a process where you might buy a couple of properties, but then you'd also buy the one behind it. You'd buy the one next door to it, the one in front of it. And so we've been doing this for quite a number of years and been successful assembling property. We buy them in high density downtown districts. The high density means that they have zoning that allows for quite a lot of altitude. So in our region, you can go up as much as 20 stories, for example. And the higher you can go, the more valuable the property. And so we buy to sustain and maintain. We fix up old downtown buildings and sustain them for years and years and years. But we only buy them in the first place if they have prime traffic. They're at intersections, traffic light intersections, and they have
Okay.
capacity to go with vertical. A developer can vertically build quite a number of units. So, for
Mhm.
instance, in one of the regions we're in, they allow for 70 units as a baseline number per
Okay.
acre. So with
Wonderful.
a maximum of 200 units per acre. So if you have 2 acres, or you have say 1 acre, you
Yeah.
can build 70 units up to 200 units if you meet certain guidelines.
Okay. So you've explored between commercial, residential, and you told us the benefits and why you chose to go more into the commercial side. But let's talk about within that commercial stream, diversification. How important is diversification in real estate portfolio investing?
I mean, it's important, but at the same time, there are very defined niches like storage units.
Yeah.
Some people stay in the storage and industrial sector, which can be very profitable because let's face it, you don't have bathrooms and showers and storage units, you know.
Right. It's just
It's
space,
simple
right?
and very self-service driven. The office market is not necessarily a good space to be in at the moment, has seen a lot of decline since COVID. So
Oh,
buying
okay.
large office buildings wouldn't be entirely a great idea. So what we do is we buy old rundown office buildings that are less than 5,000, 6,000 square feet, maybe 3, 4,000, and we repurpose them. We convert them into salon studios and we
Oh, okay.
convert them into office suites for niches like law firm offices, specialty, and other specialties. Uh,
Okay.
Retail as a commodity is still popular, like your neighborhood strip center where you can get the sandwich, the coffee, the pack of beer, the
Yeah.
cigarettes, and the convenience. So that's still in. Think about next to your house, 10 or 15 minutes from your house, the little convenience store. Whereas big shopping malls are kind of also on their way down.
Yes, yeah, that's a lot of rent, right? For a very big shopping mall, for even the rent within the mall. But now, yes, like plazas, right? So there's a coffee shop, a tire shop, a CrossFit gym. There's different things, and that basically has a lot of customers, a lot of volume coming through, and that is what keeps the commercial side going, right? But like you say, any office spaces, people go hybrid or just close shop, stop paying the rent, and work from home, right? So a lot of that has not been as profitable. So diversifying between the different businesses is what you recommend for our viewers.
I would say diversifying, but being aware of what the key areas are, the key sectors of commercial real estate, knowing that and knowing how to specialize or niche those areas is critical because salon studios is a profitable business, and you can take old ran down office buildings and repurpose them into salon studios.
Okay, all right. So is it more the services based? So businesses that provide a service to customers?
Yes, so I would just generally say there's still a lot of people who want to work from their house,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
state government requires people to have licensing, and they need an address. Google required to have a physical address as
Right.
another example.
Yes.
So what people are looking for is more a small office, what we term as small office for small business that you can get for about maybe from anywhere from $1,000 upward to $2,000 for one office, and it's fully turnkey. It has utilities included. It has all the cam included. It has Wi-Fi included, and people can
Okay.
work from home and travel, but they have a designated spot to go for to meet people and do their business outside their house.
Got it. Now let's talk about property management companies. What role do they play in maintaining a successful portfolio? I mean, obviously you have several businesses, probably different states, different locations. How do you manage it all, and what role does property management come into play here?
I think the biggest gripe you'll find in the investor, real estate investor section is finding quality and qualified property management companies. There's a lot of volatility.
Okay.
Bear in mind that property management companies, they don't own anything. They're just on contract to manage all the nuances, deal with the issues, keep your occupancies up, and manage the numbers accordingly. And so
Right.
they get paid a percentage of the rent collection every month.
Okay.
And they may even get paid a percentage of different repairs and such. Handyman goes out, they might, or the plumber goes out. They
Right.
whatever that invoices, they get a portion of that. But the point is that they don't have millions of dollars invested. They haven't personally guaranteed any large loans with any lenders. So their commitment may vary, and it all comes down to who they hire, because in property
Yeah.
management, it also runs into problems hiring people. And then the
Right.
investors run into problems hiring property management companies. And so it's not so simple.
Right. So it depends, right? So is it helpful? Now you mentioned the percentage, and we're all well aware of. Some of us, I have short-term rentals myself. What's a good percentage? Like, what is the range out there that you're seeing for, let's say, Florida? What's a good percentage that a property management company would ask for in terms of managing your property?
I think there are just a lot of variables depending on the size of the complex. Like, say, if you have 300 units, or call it 300 doors, or 600
Mhm.
doors, or you have 20 doors, or you just have two
Okay.
doors. I think there's so much goes into it. But I believe that in general, it's a general standard of about 10% across the board.
Yes.
And I think that's fairly consistent, and it's a crapshoot, if you hire a property management company. And
Yes.
so we have a family business. So our adult son is in the business, my wife's in the business.
Okay.
We have other people that we trust in the business, and then we do also subcontract. We have a lot of different handyman people we've used, tried and tested over the years. It's a business like a lot of other businesses. You have to weed through a lot of people to get good people that you can rely on to show up and trust.
Absolutely. And it's very important to make sure that you trust the property management company that you partner with because they're essentially in the business with you and you're paying them a pretty hefty fee. So thank you so much, Dr. Burke. It was a pleasure. And thank you for enlightening our audience with how to sustain a real investment portfolio that provides a steady income. And thank you for the difference between residential, commercial, diversification, and obviously when you would not use a property management company. Thank you so much.
And Griselda, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure answering your questions and enlightening the audience. Thank you very
Well,
much.
thank you. This is Real Estate Profits with Now Media Television. We'll be right back with more ways to optimize, scale, and succeed. This is Real Estate Profits on Now Media Television.